Yo, time for the latest update of building an e-commerce brand. So since the last update, there's not really been any change on the sample side of things. I'm still waiting on the sleep mask samples to come. I see now they have left China 2 days ago. So I'm hoping I get them this week. Today is Friday, so next week after the weekend really. Because in 10 days I'm going to Bali, so I'll be leaving Thailand. So if they don't arrive, I'll have to just reorder them. And it's Chinese New Year next month, so yeah, I kind of want to get them before that. Otherwise, I mean, they shop for a month in China. If you've ever worked with Chinese suppliers, you know they shop for the full month. So yeah, I want to get them, then I can like work on other things like the packaging design, blah, blah, blah. And when they come back to work, I can give that to them. We can get ready for production, probably like two months after that, and then we can actually start selling them. So that is my plan. The main major news this week for the brand is that I've decided to stop running Amazon PPC. So I paid a guy, or I started running Amazon PPC ads like quite a few months ago, just with a brand term campaign, and saw really good results because even before I started that, I was getting sales on Amazon, but coming from the view-through traffic on my Instagram and Facebook ads. So I was like, okay, let's now explore Amazon. I've never really put a focus onto it. I just have built out the listing page because I had a listing. I can't remember why initially I made a listing, but I made a listing for some reason and I was generating sales. So I was like, okay, let me actually build this out and work on it. And anyway, the brand campaign was doing very well, a very high ROAS. So I was like, right, let's pay a guy to do it because I don't really know what I'm doing with Amazon. And yeah, I got a guy on board. The first month was before Christmas. That actually looked okay. We had some campaigns that had very good ROAS, better than the meta side, but the overall wasn't that high. Or if it was still higher than meta, but it was really heavily supported by that brand campaign, which really is meta's traffic that's been pushed. So yeah, I was going to give him 3 months. So I gave him the first month, and then we stopped at Christmas. And he was doing a lot of testing anyway, so like I wouldn't expect the results to be there. You have to have time to test different things. So I could see, there was some promising in certain campaigns, but then during the Christmas period, I ended up getting 2 negative reviews. One of them 3-star, which was legitimate from a person that they didn't see any results, which is quite a common thing with a supplement, I think, and especially one to do with sleep. People are expecting like it to be like a medicine where you just see like instant results. It's supplementing your diet. It can take a long time. And yeah, some people just don't understand the sort of purpose of a supplement. They think it is, like I said, a medicine. And as well as there's other factors at play. Sleep's so complicated, it's like, fuck. It's such a complicated thing that it's very hard to get, or people instantly just think the thing doesn't do anything when they don't get the result they're looking for. So that's something I always have to deal with too, because I'm very pessimistic as a person just by nature. So whenever I get these negative reviews, I'm always like, oh no, this thing's rubbish, doesn't work. But then I have more positive reviews than I have negative, which in itself says the majority of people it's doing something for. And then there's obviously the silent majority really that just don't say anything. And a lot of them are probably going to be positive. You're more likely to get negative people speaking up and voicing their opinion because they're angry. So yeah, that's something I always have to keep in mind, because yeah, I'm just by nature very pessimistic about things. So yeah, that's that. And anyway, he basically came and said to me, so that was it. I had 1 3-star review, which was legitimate, but I also got 1 1-star review, which was annoying because the person had never even bought the product. They basically just saw the listing page, and it says on the listing page like source of melatonin or something, which is one of the keywords the guy put in, because I used to have natural source of melatonin, because there's melatonin in cherries and it contains a lot of tart cherries. But anyway, that like triggered this person, so they gave it a 1-star review, even though they've never bought it, which is annoying that you can even do that on Amazon, because it really, like, the reviews make such a difference. It's quite frustrating. Yeah, and I asked Amazon if they could remove it, but I didn't hear back from them. So that's annoying, because it's basically I've got 1-star review from someone who's never bought it. I've got a 3-star. I've only got 1 negative review from an actual customer, which is 3 stars. It's not even like a 1-star review. And then all my other positive reviews aren't able to. So I've got I've got 2 written reviews that are 5-star, and then I've got 4 just 5-star ratings, but they've not written a review. So yeah, oh sorry, no, it's 2. It's 2 5 stars that haven't written a review. So it's like 4 positive and 1 legitimate negative, but that brings my overall rating down to 3.8. So 3.8 is not very good for conversion, you know? It still shows 4 stars in the visual, but 3.8, you think something's bad about the product. If you go and read the actual reviews, you'd be like, well, there's one person said it didn't work for them, that's it. The other person just says it's not got melatonin. Fine, it's not got melatonin in it, which is illegal to sell in the UK anyway, so no product will have melatonin in it, commercial melatonin. So anyway, that's annoying, but that really has hurt the conversion rate this month on the stuff. And the PPC guy basically said, hey, like, I couldn't figure out why I was not able to get the conversions. I'm really struggling to get, you know, your conversion rate. Then I went and looked at the ratings. It's like, yeah, that's really going to hurt it. And, you know, I was kind of feeling the same about Amazon. I'm not that bought into it. Now, like, it's not where it needs to be. And the brand campaign is doing all the work, which I'm going to show you on the screen. You know, it's literally like the brand campaign is all I really need. So why am I paying a guy money to manage it and paying to get, you know, paying Amazon to run PPC when really it's just my fucking brand on Meta and Instagram is driving traffic to them. And that's how I'm going to run it now. So it's quite good. A guy from a brand called Space Goods, if you ever heard of him, Matt, he also posted on Twitter this week talking about how he thinks Amazon PPC, well, asking the question, is Amazon PPC just like irrelevant and it's just taking all their brand awareness traffic from Instagram? And quite a lot of people are agreeing, and that was quite good for me to see because I'd already turned off my ads. It's like, hey, this supports what other people are saying. It's not like my brand's just not working or something. Well, my brand isn't just working on Amazon, but it's my type of product, I think. You know, both of us, we have higher price point products compared to the competitors because they're a premium formulation. You know, you're giving more ingredients and there is that brand play behind them. You're offering a better brand experience because they're not Amazon first products. They are Shopify first products that we're selling on Amazon. And that's a major difference. When you're making a product for Amazon, you're just looking to try and beat everyone ranking on the search page. So you're going to make your product appropriate to that. You're not going to go and make it the absolute best product ever with all the nuts and bolts if that's going to push the price up beyond the market value, because you don't have enough space to convey that value on Amazon versus on your actual ads, you can on your own infrastructure. So anyway, I'll show you the Amazon actually, just to convey this. So this is the, I don't know if you can see, let me zoom in a little bit. This is the Amazon reporting. And I won't go into too much detail, you know, but you can see here that this is when I was running the brand campaign for the first time. You know, just running that brand term campaign, I spent £150 in the month and I got a grand back with a 6.8 ROAS. Then went on to start some small PPC. And it brought the ROAS right down, but we're getting more sales. So, you know, like I said, he's doing testing within that. And then we went out of stock, obviously, and I came back into stock, started the guy halfway through the month, I think. And, you know, he really ramped up the Amazon stuff. So we were making like revenue from Amazon and good ROAS that first month, but that was also heavily based on the brand campaign, I think. Plus, like I said, he had like one or two campaigns that were doing very well. So Amazon did look good for that first month. And then, that first like week or whatever period. Then when we came back into, or when we had like a full month to run it, it came right down. So 2.9x ROAS on Amazon, which, you know, that's good. But again, it's heavily like supported by my brand campaign, which was like a 8x ROAS and bringing most of the sales. So that is traffic that I would have for very little cost. You know, that would be like 150, 200 pounds if it was just running the brand campaign. And then when we come into the next month, again, 2.8 is, again, it's just all brand campaign. He was telling me that the campaigns aren't really converting. I was looking at them, they all have terrible ROAS. The actual paid thing is like a negative ROAS, under ROAS of 1. So I'm losing money on it this first 2 weeks of January. So yeah, it's good now that I've just cut it And I think going forward, that's really going to help me, because the Amazon stuff really does help the overall, my MER, which I'm not going to show you because I think it's probably too much to show at the moment. But yeah, that really helps my MER, brings that up. But this year, January, it's not been looking great for me. It's like 1.2 the MER. It was like 1.4 in November, that was like all right. I was happy with that, because that is break even. So yeah, I'm gonna basically leave that, I think, and explore Google now. That's the major difference. So I think Google's going to be a lot better because I don't have all the problems I have with Amazon. You know, I already have proven landing pages, but that's another thing itself, you know, because the landing pages are proven for a certain level of traffic. Google's a lot more higher intent. So maybe there's different things I should be showcasing on a landing page. That's another thing to figure out. But I'm currently in the process of deciding whether I run the Google ads myself. So I do know how to run Google ads, like a basic level. I certainly will run the brand campaign myself. I'll set that up straight away, because Google for me was actually suspended for the last year because they thought I was selling pharmaceuticals, but I've managed to get it back. So yeah, I'm going to explore Google, and I'll start with it, but I'm thinking about getting someone I know to run it and just paying them, even if it's quite expensive, just to prove that Google works or not. But that could be a massive game changer, because the higher intent on Google traffic might actually get me having some decent profit. If we're able to get profit, I can then start scaling it. Right now, I'm holding it flat. I don't want to scale because I need to sort out like the back end. I need to sort out other things. I don't want to scale it and then be not making profit. I've said to myself, you can't scale unless you get profits. That's why we're holding it flat at like £350 spend a day on Facebook. You know, with the returns I'm getting on the first sale for a supplement brand, actually it's doing pretty good CPA wise, and I could scale it, but my business as a whole doesn't at the moment work correctly. So I don't want to scale too much in the front end and be left with like a high scale that, you know, I'm just burning money into. So I want to sort out the foundations. Once they're sorted out, once we have a good business that's running, it's profitable, again, introducing those other products I'm talking about, I know how to scale it to the moon. That's what my job has been for the last couple of years. So yeah, I just need to get that into place, and then we can just crank up the meta, and we'll scale it to a big brand. So yeah, that's the update really for now. And I'll see you in another one.